Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventure, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of my bounty of comics, classic comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and so much more. But first, it's time to talk about what stood out from last week's pull list, and nothing was terrible on my pull list, but it was a lot of just very kind of okay things. Nothing really stood out. Everything was decent, but nothing really just stood out for the most part. Flash was really, really good with the whole storyline with the Strength Force and how, Barry's kind of adapting to kind of like having something different. And I really enjoyed like his panels with Iris and kind of what Iris is wanting out of her relationship with Barry. I think it's a very intriguing storyline. Daredevil was okay with Matt's brother being brought into the equation, and then the ending where his brother kind of let the Kingpin know what Matt/Daredevil knows about him. Been kind of critical of Charles Soule's Daredevil run, but I will say this was one of his better issues, and I thought Titans was very, very good this week. It really stood out for me with the time traveling and just kind of fun. It was a fun issue as it sets up further stories down the road, but nothing was awful. I mean, I gotta emphasize this. All the books were okay, at least, and nothing was bad. Just nothing really, in my opinion, too earth-shattering. Nothing stood out to me in the bad way, but nothing really rocked my socks in a good way. But, sometimes you have weeks like that. Not everything's gonna be a home run. Sometimes you're gonna hit a single and hit a base hit, and hey, that's not too bad. But, that's my general opinion about my pull list from last week. Last week was just a huge bounty of a bunch of stuff going on, so the pull list was kind of secondary to all the collectibles and art I picked up, and I hope fans of this show have checked out the artist pages because they did some great work. But I will catch you guys back here with my bounty for this week.
Hello everyone, I am back here at the homestead at Athletic Geek HQ. And we've got a pretty large bounty, not quite as large with all the extras like last week, but a pretty big one nonetheless. Let's not waste any more time, and we are going to start with Avengers number 8. Jason Aaron's Avengers run has been, pretty good so far, and just the meshing of all these different personalities, the heavy hitters, and some that maybe don't get the love that they deserve. He's done a really good job. It's not always a pick of the week, but, to kind of bring back my baseball reference from earlier, he's consistently hitting. Maybe not always home runs, but singles and doubles. He's not striking out with any issue of this book so far, so definitely excited about Jason Aaron's Avengers. And on the subject of Jason Aaron, we go to Jason Aaron's Thor. This is issue number 5, and just to look at that cover is really, really cool looking. I mean, it's to me, I care more about the story than the art, but that's a beautiful cover there with the Phoenix and Mjolnir. That's really, really cool. And once again, he's such a tremendous writer. Thor is not really somebody who I geek out for as often as other heroes, yet looking forward to this book every time I see it in my pull list, so that's really cool. From there, we go to Mr. and Mrs. X, number 3 by Kelly Thompson, and it's been an okay little series so far. I love Rogue, I love Gambit, and Kelly Thompson knows how to write Rogue and Gambit and write their relationship, so kudos to her for that. Again, it's, maybe not what I would like it to be. I really wish that, Gambit could set the world on fire. Maybe that's just because he's not the kind of character to do that, and I'm blinded by my own fandom by him. But if you are a Gambit fan, a Rogue fan, an X-Men fan, you owe it to yourself to check out this series. Go hunt down the other 2 issues. It's a 6-issue miniseries. It's well worth it. From there, we go to X-Men Gold number 36, and they're starting a new story arc with this one, and I'm seeing all the Graves and Kitty by the Graves, so I have a bad feeling about this. It's never really a good thing when you see Graves in the X-Men. And I don't know if the Gold Series is wrapping up soon or what's going on with it, but I hope not. But yeah, the X-Men's my favorite part about Marvel, and if they get rid of the X-Men, I'm going to be very, very disappointed, or at least change it up, because I've really been enjoying, the X-Men Gold team so far. But we'll see where it goes from there. X-Men Gold number 36. We transition from the world of Marvel to the world of DC, and we go to Aquaman number 40. And this book's going to have to step up its game, I'm afraid I have to say. It's, I know it's kind of doing a crossover with the Suicide Squad now, and I'm not reading the Suicide Squad, so I'll forgive that portion of it. But just not... As much as I loved Aquaman and thought it was one of the better books at DC when Rebirth began, it's really not been delivering as much in the last few story arcs, and that's just my opinion. It might be doing well for some, but this book has got to get better, or else I'm gonna have to find I may not have a spot for it on my pull list anymore. But I'm gonna give it a chance. I know I'm not really reading all the story arcs, so I'm gonna give it a little leeway, but fortunately you might hear me sooner rather than later stop talking about Aquaman here on the Comic Shop Adventure. From there, we go to Green Lanterns, number 55. And we have Cyborg Superman running the, looking like he's going to run the Green Lantern Corps. Dan Jurgens, so you got to have a Cyborg Superman or some kind of weird differentiate Superman character. I say as I'm wearing a Superboy shirt. But Jurgens kind of has done an okay job. It's so far, he's not been as good as the previous writer, but the previous writer was just fantastic. But I've enjoyed his run so far, and it seems like mixing, they did on the Hal Jordan book, they mixed Zod with Green Lantern characters, and mixing like Cyborg Superman might be doing the same thing. So seems like Superman villains seem to lend themselves well to the GLC. So looking forward to reading that. And then from there we go to Justice League number 8. James Tynion IV is writing this issue. It's another Legion of Doom centric issue, which I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed the last one. It says the Batman who laughs joins the Legion of Doom. So we might have an interesting little one shot here, or possibly a couple issue story arc. So definitely excited about that. And now we go to Batman number 55, Battle for the Souls of Gotham. So Nightwing is sticking around, and maybe they'll build off of the little fun issue they had in issue 54 with Dick and Bruce being together again, and Dick being the good friend for Bruce after the wedding being left at the altar and the wedding not going according to plan. So hopefully this book continues. It was up and then it went down and then it kind of stuck in the middle, and now hopefully it's on the way back up. And Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, Batman, Nightwing together. So hopefully we'll have. Hopefully it's back to this one being one of the top books on my pull list. And from there we go to Nightwing number 49. Silencer was a new character they're kind of using more in the DC universe. Appeared at the end of the last issue of Nightwing, and it's been an okay little book, especially starting with the last story arc, and we'll see if it continues its progress. And Nightwing 49. And then finally, this is from the DC Black Label line. It is Batman Damn by Brian Azzarello, and it's kind of this weird little, it's almost like an issue of a trade paperback, like it's kind of in this prestige format. It looks really cool. And this is book 1. I guess they'll just be releasing different volumes as it goes along, like not quite as long like the Earth 1 trade paperbacks and what have you, but more so, at least from what I was told in my local comic shop, they're going to put out one now and then one in November, December, and then just kind of infrequently throughout the year release it, almost as if it's like a mini-series, but it's not. It's just a new way they're going to try things, and I like Brian Azzarello and I like Batman, so I'm going to see where this goes from here. Hopefully, if I enjoy this first part, I will definitely pick up the next one. If I don't, well, then there you go. But I'm interested to check out this. It's, on the synopsis on the back is, that's a bi-monthly title. So there you go. Just, if I would have done a little reading before I came on camera, I'd understand things more. And it says the Joker is dead. And, John Constantine's apparently going to be involved in this. And, yeah, so I think this is going to be, it's going to take Darkness of Batman to a whole nother level. But I think it'll be a fun little read. And, we'll see what happens with it. But Batman Damned, Book 1. And that is it for the books this week. I've been trying not to buy as many collectibles, but this week, one that I ordered a few months ago came in. It's more of those DC Universal Minibus collectibles, and I'll go ahead and open this up here on camera. I got a Riddler. I mentioned how much last week when I bought the Ark, how much I enjoy the Riddler, and well, this is things aren't stopping as far as Riddler collectibles. Got this really cool minibus. Let me take the plastic off, get a better look at it. Much like the Catwoman and the Two-Face and the Nightwing, that I've had here on the show from this line. It's a really good looking bust. And as always, it comes with a neat little magazine to talk about some of the different incarnations and origin stories and different good Riddler books out there. And it's these are always really fun to read and give you a nice little, especially if you're looking for other good Riddler stories. It's really cool. It talks about some of the different artists that have drawn Riddler, so really cool. And I'm a huge Riddler fan, so that's going to be awesome. And it's going to look good in the living room. And yeah, it's really excited now for being one of my favorite villains. I didn't really have a lot of Riddler swag. And after 2 weeks, I have a ton of Riddler merch now and a ton of Riddler collectibles. But that is it for the bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic book shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and give it a share. If you want to see more, please give me a subscribe and check out my old videos, not just from the world of comics, but from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. And if you want to see more content, please go like the Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.